My name is Julian Williams, and I take Expedite. Some days I walk into the gym, but you don't really feel like working. Take a scoop or two of this, shake it up in some cold water, throw it back, ready to go. The best stuff I've ever had. Expedite.
Hey everybody, Marcos Villegas here in Las Vegas, being joined with Abel Sanchez. Tyson Fury fights this weekend, and you, sir, have a fighter on the card.
Yes, we have Guido Vianello fighting a six-rounder, his fourth fight. I think the young man's name, to tell you the truth, I don't know the young man's name. I better not say it. But yes, he's fighting a six-rounder. I'm sure we'll find out tomorrow if it's the same guy. But we're looking forward to it.
I just spoke to him. He's a funny guy, a lot of personality. He's wholesome.
He's a really, really nice kid. A lot of these young men, and this young man in particular, when they have that upbringing, that good upbringing, the good parenting, it shows in not only in interviews, but not only in their career and how they approach this game, how he behaves in the gym. And his parents own a tennis camp in Italy, so he knows about this. He knows about preparation. He knows about hard work. He knows about you're only going to get out of it what you put in it. So he's at peace. He's at peace with himself, knowing what he has to do.
How would you describe him as a fighter for those that don't know too much about him or haven't seen him before? I know he's an Olympian, but how does he fight in there?
I would say he's a cross right now between. Obviously, I'm comparing him to some greats, but Vladimir Klitschko and a young Ali. A lot of movement, a lot of good balance, good straight punches. How he ends up right now is only his fourth fight. So in his fourth fight, we're trying to determine which direction we're going to take him and say in the next 6 fights. But right now we're trying to get all the basics and all the foundation down so that when he gets to the 10th, 11th fight, then we can see which is going to be the stronger position for us or the best direction for us to go in. He can't be both. He can't be, so they say he can't be George Foreman and Muhammad Ali at the same time, and he can't be Vladimir Klitschko and Muhammad Ali at the same time. We're going to have to choose one that benefits him and benefits the sport of boxing best.
You mentioned he sparred Tyson Fury in the past, and as recently as 2 weeks ago. How were the sparring sessions like?
Actually, it was about 3 weeks ago, this last time. The first time was before he turned pro. But, sparring with Tyson Fury, such a consummate professional that he is, Tyson Fury, he only sparred with 3 times. He sparred with him, three days, 4 rounds, and 6 rounds. And Tyson Fury is the type of professional that allows you to work. He makes you know when or he lets you know when you're making mistakes. He'll smack you with a shot, but it wasn't sparring in a sparring sense. It was more like schooling for a young fighter like Guido. And we're fortunate that we were able to get those rounds because it would benefit Guido in the future. It's going to benefit him for this fight, but it shows him where he has to go as far as the development and what he can expect at that level.
With Andy beating Anthony Joshua last weekend, do you see Tyson Fury as the best heavyweight in the world right now?
I saw Tyson Fury as the best heavyweight before he beat Anthony Joshua. Yeah, I thought after the Tyson Wilder fight, I thought that Tyson was number 1, Wilder number 2, and Joshua number 3. Now I see Joshua as number 4 and Andy Ruiz as number 3 with the same 2 on top. Tyson Fury is a special talent, man. He's a talent that comes along not too often. Not only because of his boxing skills, because of the way he is, and it's good for boxing. He comes on and comes out as the true Tyson Fury. He's not that man you see there is the same man that I saw in training camp when I was with him 3 weeks ago. Very honest, very truthful, and he can fight.
What did you make of what happened last week and how Andy looked with Joshua?
I thought Andy was so committed and so possessed to try to prove to people that what he looks like doesn't matter. Andy had a very good amateur career. Andy's only loss was to Joseph Parker for the title, and Joseph Parker went 12 with Joshua. And we lost a majority decision that really we shouldn't have lost. I thought we won, but we were in New Zealand. I understand that. But he wasn't being denied this time. He had that kind of attitude. And Anthony, I think, overlooked him. Anthony looks at this 6 foot guy. 6 foot guy that's. I'll see you on Saturday. I'll see you tomorrow. A 6 foot guy that's 260 pounds and doesn't look like he's in shape. But you forget all the things he accomplished before this particular fight. He had a good amateur career. I think he only lost 5 of his amateur fights and had over 100. He lost to Joseph Parker being his only loss. So it's a guy that has all the credentials, but may not look like Adonis. And he did his job.
Is it wise for Joshua to go into a rematch again with Andy because of what happened, or should he take his time for the rematch? Even though I know it's on paper, there's supposed to be an immediate rematch.
I think that he realizes. I shouldn't speak for him, but as a coach, I think that the fighter realizes that he's got to make some changes. Maybe changes in how he approached the fight. Maybe changes in try to adapt to what or not try to adapt. I shouldn't say adapt. Try to figure out what that man done to me and what I have to do to make sure he doesn't do that to me again. But I think his ego and his pride would be more hurt if they don't go into and his future would be hurt if they don't go into the rematch, because Andy Ruiz took something from him. And it shouldn't be right. In his mind, it shouldn't be right. I got to go get it back. But I think that he's smart enough and his people are smart enough to understand that we weren't 100% Anthony Joshua that night.
Was it that, or was it that Andy Ruiz is just that good and Andy Ruiz will beat him again?
Andy Ruiz is that good, but Anthony Joshua wasn't 100% that night. It's just like when Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson had an off night. Buster Douglas had a great night. I'm not comparing the.
It was a huge upset, but yeah.
Because that fight was much more of an upset. Andy had the tools, had the credentials, and the other guy didn't believe it.
But does Andy beat him again? A lot of people have said, Tyson Fury said, Andy beats him every time they fight because that's just a bad style for Joshua.
Not necessarily. I think that just like with Marquez and Pacquiao and Cotto and Margarito, if you make the adjustments that you need to make and take this fight serious. What happened to Anthony, in my opinion, is he's a big superstar in the UK. I mean, he is everything in the UK. He went from boxing being the #1 priority in his life to something else being the #1 priority in his life. Being a star was more important, and it showed early in the fight. So I think that if he goes back to making sure that boxing is the reason why we're here or why he's here, I think that he beats Andy Ruiz. But if he doesn't, then Andy will do what Andy did the first time.
Does Andy beat Wilder?
No.
No? Why not?
I think, again, maybe the styles, okay?
Yeah.
Andy will be. Wilder will box him in a different way that he boxed than Joshua boxed him. Wilder will keep him at distance, and Wilder will hit him with power that Anthony doesn't have.
What if Andy, same thing, moves? Because Andy in combinations is great.
Yes. He throws 4 or 5 punches in a row. Anthony would not. Deontay would not let him do that. Where Anthony just stood there because he was like a deer in the headlights.
That was, I noticed that was weird.
Yeah.
Why?
He just wasn't there, man. He got hit with a shot. I think it was in the second round. He got hit with an overhand right on the top of the head, on the temple, I should say. And it seemed like that took him completely out of his game. But again, it could be the focus. I've seen, look, you can't take away the fact that he's a gold medalist. Yeah. You can't take away the fact that up until the Andy Ruiz fight, he was unbeatable. You're talking about Wilder and Fury not even beating him, all right? One fight, he didn't grow old in that one training camp. He just wasn't there. And his accomplishments, the fight against Klitschko would hit him with better shots than Andy did. It's just that this time when he got hit by Andy, his mind wasn't there. I'll say it till the day I die. He was not there focused for Andy Ruiz because of what Andy Ruiz looked like.